left San Diego Harbor with the sunset to cross the U.S. border into Mexico. We had approximately 3 weeks to sail from California to Pacific Mexico, where we'd be joining the Panama Posse at the start of December. The first leg of the trip would be to sail along the Baja Peninsula approximately 750 nautical miles before we could cross the Gulf of California to the Pacific coast of Mexico. However, before we start our journey in Mexico, we need to check into the first port of entry, Ensenada. This will be a quick overnight sail from San Diego, approximately 60 nautical miles. We had calm winds overnight, so we let Gargoyle slowly make her way down the coast while we enjoyed the sunshine. After turning into the Baja Todos Santos, we only had a few nautical miles before we would reach Hotel Corral Marina, where we would dock to clear Mexican immigration and customs. Now all we needed to do was raise our Mexican courtesy flag and quarantine flag before we entered the marina. So, we just checked in. You can see, no, you can't see Gargoyle. You see Gargoyle? Can't see Gargoyle. Maybe you can.
Yeah, down here you can see her butt.
You can kind of see her little butt there. At Marina Corral, which is actually west of Ensenada, because the town is to the east of us. Yeah.
Sí, señora.
So great marina, really great staff, very helpful. The resort is up here, and then you're here, you have access to the pool, as well as a discount for the restaurant and bars. So
we're gonna go check that out.
Trying to have a margarita. So this morning, Mr. Nash has all the paperwork in his handy dandy backpack. And we're going to jump in the shuttle with the marina. And we're going to go get our tip. The marina takes care of it. It's like $60 to do the paperwork and get us down to the customs and immigration. So, I don't know. You can do it for free. But we think it's worth the $60. Alright, here we go. Should be a fun adventure. So, tomorrow morning we're off at first light to head further south. Tropical Storm Raymond is lurking down in Cabo. So we're just gonna wait to see what happens, and if we have to hole up somewhere halfway between, we will be doing that to wait out the stormy weather. And here's our ride.
So we just left Ensenada this morning, heading for Turtle Bay, at least as a preliminary waypoint. I don't know that we're going to stop. Carla, how's the sailing going now?
Good. We've got 12 knots, approximately 130 degrees, and we're doing 6.5 knots.
Excellent.
Our plan was to sail directly from Ensenada to San Jose del Cabo, and the total 700 nautical miles would take approximately 5 days. The Baja does not have a high volume of fishing or traps along the coast, so we would stay close to shore in the event the weather changed. Our first available anchorage would be Turtle Bay, approximately halfway down the coast if we needed to tuck in for heavy weather. Once we were past Turtle Bay, we had another 350 nautical miles down the coast before we could turn the corner to head into Marina Puerto Los Cabos for a couple of days. Here we would reprovision and prepare to sail across the Sea of Cortez to the Mexican Pacific coast. Good morning. It is day 2 on our way down to the tip of the Baja Peninsula. It's a spectacular morning. I've just relieved Kevin for a nap. The winds actually have been relatively good. We had a couple hours last night where it dropped down to like 2 or 3, but then came back up to like 10 or 12, which was what we were expecting. So we had a great night, and first day's looking good. We're probably going to clock about 130 nautical miles, which is really good for Gargoyle. It's also been a busy night, and when we zoom into the chart, you can see all of the cruise ships and cargo ships in this one little hub here. So we've been dodging those all night, as well as some big luxury yachts that are not on AIS, which is always kind of fun.
Hundreds of dolphins.
Don't come and look at them, honey.
I know, I see them. They're all outside the window. Actually, it's kind of cool when they're going to dive.
The whole whack of them.
I know. Speedy little boaters, aren't they?
Yeah, they're playing on the bow.
They're more common though.
It's day 2 and still really nice winds, kind of up and down a little bit, so we've motored a little bit, but really good day. And what's better than some pizza pie in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, right, Mr. Nash?
I think it looks wonderful. Thank you.
Lunchtime.
Lunch.
On our 3rd day, we sailed into the remnants of the tropical storm. I had spent the last hour of my shift moving around squalls to avoid the winds and the rain. As a rainbow just appeared, I handed the helm over to Kevin to catch up on some sleep. However, it was going to have to wait just a little bit longer.
Good morning.
What you got your rain gear on for?
I know, kind of unusual. I had to dig it out of the back of the closet. We have the enclosure off because we're enjoying the tropical weather down here. But as you can see, we're sailing in or motoring in now into a tropical storm. It's actually a squall that's popped up here. It's got quite a bit of lightning with it. We're just getting a little rainfall now. But just to be on the safe side, I thought I'd gear up. So I can send you below, honey. So you can stay nice and dry since you took the evening watch.
The large squall crossed 6 nautical miles, so we settled in to sail through it and to give Gargoyle a quick wash in the heavy rain. Unfortunately, this storm cell didn't have any wind, so we motored through to clear skies on the other side.
Okay, so today we are unexpectedly anchored in Turtle Bay here on the Baja Peninsula, and you'll see some bad signs. The sat phone being out is one, never a positive. The other is the hatch is all open. Last night, of course, it always happens at 2 a.m. in 20 knots of wind in the rain, in the dark. We lost all of our instruments. They just went completely wonky. So we backtracked about 20 miles to Turtle Bay, and I put my mechanic down in here. I don't know if you can see Carla, but she's down in here right now working on the autopilot, pulling fuses. So we're trying to figure out exactly what the cause is. We've been on the phone with First Yachts in Vancouver, as well as the Raymarine expert technicians, and we're just about to call them back after this. We performed the last things they asked us to do. Any words of wisdom down there, Chief Mechanic and Engineer?
I got nothing.
She's got nothing. So
The fuses are all good.
fuses are good. So pull that SPX fuse, okay? And then I'll boot the instruments and see what happens. And of course, in the meantime, Sammy's chillaxing.
So, we've been on the phone with Raymarine and First Yachts, and we've replaced fuses and checked ground wires and unplugged ST70s and plugged in whatever else and dug stuff out, and guess what? We haven't found the problem. So I guess we're just going to go for it, and we'll see what the next 4 days
Yeah,
brings.
we'll do it the old-fashioned way, without instruments.
The old-fashioned way.
Yes, I just like to say for anyone, think of the term multifunction device. It's a great idea, as you can have all this functionality in one device. The problem with it is when that one device goes down, all your functionality goes with it. So we found it's all interlinked, and the fuse that is for our autopilot also controls the depth sounder, you know, the radar,
Wind
the MFD,
instruments.
the wind instruments, everything.
Mamma mia!
Mamma mia! And with the manufacturers building more and more and more functionality into an MFD, they've lost sight, I think, of the functionality of I need a wind instrument, I need speed, I need radar, I need a chart. So, yes.
So anyways,
Calling me a not happy Raymarine customer right now.
there's a big southwesterly wind tonight, but then it's supposed to die down tomorrow, so we're just gonna go for it. And as you can see, Samantha has been like a real trooper today, but she's exhausted, man. She can't chase any more wires.
Good morning. New day here in Turtle Bay, and good news is that the electronics are all now working. So we replaced a fuse, we jiggled a lot of wires, but in the end, I think what it comes down to, and what we found out from the manufacturer as well, is low voltage was causing our problem. So it was definitely a power issue. The low voltage, we believe, was being caused by the freezer when we were running, and if we were in a situation of very high power draw on the autopilot, where we had rough seas and high winds, which we had during the tail end of Raymond, couple that with the voltage draw of the deep freeze, and it would pull our voltage below what would be recommended. We're still tracking down to make sure. We're seeing 12.8 volts at the batteries, 12.6 volts at the instruments. So we want to make sure that we can't somehow minimize that voltage loss. But other than that, I think that's up and good. So this morning we're going to have, what are we going to have for breakfast this morning?
We're gonna have steak and eggs, and the bad news is our freezer is no longer working. So we're gonna send some food over to Poseidon because we're not going to be able to fit all this into our little fridge freezer. Yeah, steak and eggs for brekkie.
Oh well, and no more ice for your Jack and Diet Cokes.
Oh, the world is coming to an end.
You're an English woman now. You'll have to channel your English side.
Sammy's gonna go and see if she can find a hot dog.
It's now the cat timeout room.
Stay tuned. Head out today. The weather's looking good. It looks a little bad up there, but we're going this way where the sun is. Should take us about 3 days to get to Cabo. 4 days potentially if winds are a little bit light, but we're on our way. So we just left Turtle Bay. Big kind of funnel coming in there. We had like 25, 30 knots as we were trying to get out of the bay, and some pretty steep standing waves. But we made it out. We still got about 15 to 20 knots, so we're reefed in doing, 7.5, 8 knots. And we are out to sea. Still really big waves out here from the low pressure that came in a couple of days ago. I don't know if the video will do them justice, but we are on our way to Cabo. This should be the worst of the weather, and as we head south, the wind's going to lighten up and the seas are going to drop down. So it should be a good cruise, and hopefully our electronics stay 2 thumbs up.
So sunrise on a beautiful day here off the coast of Mexico. Typical watch scene. You got the autopilot driving, listening to a real good mix of new and old, like a little America. Horse with no name. Got the enclosure buttoned up on the windward side. It's got about 15-20 knots of wind. And while it's not cold, it's not hot either. So a lot of open ocean out there today. So yesterday we left Turtle Bay at 9 o'clock. By 9 this morning we were over 150 miles covered. So really good run for 24 hours.
We are approximately 150 miles from the tip of the Baja. And very, very close to our destination. Got another day and a half. Good morning, Mr. Nash.
Good morning, people.
We continued south with a company of more dolphins and enjoyed our final sunset as we sailed through the last few miles to the tip of the Baja. We are just coming around the point to Cabo San Lucas. View you don't typically see. Sand dunes and the beaches. original lighthouse here. And then, of course, all the resorts. Once you go around the point, the port. We are in Puerto Los Cabos Marina.
Puerto Los Cabos.
Puerto Los Cabos. We've been here for a couple of days, just relaxing. Gargoyle's got a really nice slip. Great location. But there's a storm coming in, so we just put a couple extra lines out and got Gargoyle in the middle of her slip so she can do some flexing. And we're waiting for the water taxi. They have this great little water taxi that runs during the day that comes and picks you up. Basically, we're just going to get a little ride from here to over there.
Because it'd be hard to walk.
It'd be even harder to swim.
We'd have to walk all the way around.
All the way around. Yeah. Why walk all the way around when
That's right. You have the Puerto
El
Los Cabos.
German will come and pick you up?
German. El Capitan.
El Capitan.
Hola.
Hola.
It's all right. Let me get a picture of our taxi. Hola.
Puerto Los Cabos is a very nice stop along the trip down the Baja and up to La Paz. It's an hour or so past Cabo San Lucas, and it's a very nice, quiet stop. The one thing you'll notice right away is it caters to the high-end fishing fleet. So lots of convertible offshore fishing machines from 60 to 90 feet plus. You'll see some amazing displays of boating power, including the outboards on this beast that I'm walking past. And of course, here at the end of the dock, yachts and super yachts. I'd say 2 to 3 times a day there was a 150-foot plus yacht that went past us. Fabulous service, a little pricey, but you do have access, of course, to the restaurant and bar here. There's also another one on the other side, and it's a great location to be able to get in and reprovision in San Jose del Cabo.
So we're leaving San Jose del Cabo. We were very bad. We didn't take any video when we were in the marina.
We were bad.
We were bad.
We were too relaxed.
Far too relaxed.
Blame it on the margaritas.
Anyways, we had a great time in San Jose Cabo. We highly recommend Puerto del Cabo.
Puerto Los Cabos.
Puerto Los Cabos Marina. It's fantastic marina. A little pricey, but hands down, great service and well worth it. We also isolated our refrigeration problem, so stay tuned for that. We have about a 2.5-day sail to get across to Ensenada, which is where we're heading right now. Based on our wind forecast, we should have 10 to 15 knots all the way, and we will be on one port tack straight across the tip of the Gulf of California, as it's known in the United States, or the Sea of Cortez, as it's known in Mexico.
Right.
Right.
My wife won't let me have a Corona yet, though, Gary.
No Corona for you.
As is, we were not having Friskies on a daily basis, so we had Friskies this morning, and that generated the power. Woohoo! So every morning it's gonna be Friskies. Oh, do you want to take 2? So